Hey folks, just wanted to pop in here and say Happy New Year, and here's a bonus episode. Gianni and I wanted to thank everyone listening for growing our podcast and the kind messages that everyone has sent and the support that we've gotten. We know we're just a little tiny little baby podcast and we're a very niche interest, but we really appreciate the response that we've gotten from everyone. And so we decided to go back through all of our old episodes and pick out some of the best bits from those episodes and put them in a big compilation, which is what this episode is going to be. So as a thank you from me to you and to everybody else out there listening in Germany, in Texas, I think we had somebody in Japan listening, which is crazy. Wherever you listen, thank you so much for your support. And we hope you really enjoy this nice little funny compilation of things that made us laugh over 2024 as we were just getting started. We're looking forward to 2025. Gianni and I just recorded book 19 today. So we are on track and we just really appreciate every single one of you out there. So enjoy this episode. We hope you laugh and we hope you've had a safe and fun holiday. So take care. We'll see you in the next episode of Morphin Buddies.
So he walks out, and I'm gonna just butcher this name, but they call him, okay, Axamil?
No.
Esgaruth Isthil?
Gianni.
Is what Wikipedia is telling me
Gianni,
his name
that's
is?
the wrong Andalite. You're talking about a different character that we haven't met yet.
That guy? Okay, so anyway, I'm on Wikipedia to try to find these names.
Elfangor is the one that we meet.
Is that the guy?
God.
He's not even on this. He's not even on this list. Where is this guy?
Oh my God.
This freaking guy. So anyway,
Elfangor is a warrior Andalite. What does he look like? Do you remember
Who am I reading about?
No, don't look at Axamili yet. You're not there yet. You're not there yet.
I'm not looking at it. I'm literally just on a character list, so it's not even telling me anything about these people.
Yeah, no, you're not there yet.
So don't worry. I'm not getting any future spoilers.
Absolutely not.
Okay. At this point, Jake has alluded to it a few times, but he's got an older brother.
Tom.
Tom. That's
Tom.
right. I knew it was a dumb name. Yeah, Tom. Sorry if you're a Tom listener out there. I don't across the board think that it's a dumb name. I just think your parents could have done better, but that's fine.
At least
Tom is a great name. It's an awesome name.
At least it wasn't Thom. Let's be fair.
Yeah, Thom. So Thom is. Jake's mentioned it a few times, but Thom, as of the past couple of weeks, hasn't been as communicative with his brother.
Yeah, he's been a little
as
distant,
he used to be.
Weird.
And so at a certain point, I think it's Tobias that's the first one, but it might be Marco, I can't remember. But someone is like, dude, do you think your brother is
a controller?
Do you think he's a yerk?
He's a little sus, Jake.
Yeah, because he's asking a lot of questions, and Jake gets so mad about it. And it's like, relax, dude.
Jake's
we all knew
hothead.
This is where it was going. Yeah, like, chill it out, dude. And so, like, I'm pretty sure he punches somebody in the face, and then he's like, yeah, you know what, you might be right, actually. Yeah, he's
He's like, well, I don't know about that.
Yeah, well, I guess I'll have to do some research.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, I will also say, too, and this is kind of irrelevant to the whole plot, but just to get it out there, because I think it's funny, but my man Marco, I don't know if you felt like this reading the book, but the whole time I was like, do you even like this guy? I was like, do you even like him? Like, he's not, like, he's kind of like dismissive about everything.
Yeah.
He's kind of like, dude, he's like, just leave me alone, but like is always hanging around. It's like, it's like, dude, just get other friends then. If you hate Jake so much, like that, he hates it.
Yeah, Marco,
it's the worst.
He's like the annoying funny guy. Also, we also have to keep in mind, like, they're still preteens, so anything as a preteen, that's dumb. I'm not gonna do that. That's stupid.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's stupid, actually.
Actually, that's kind of stupid.
Actually, turning into an animal sounds really dumb, actually. One of the girls' mother's works at the zoo.
Cassie.
Couldn't tell you which girl.
Cassie.
Thank you.
The animal
Cassie's
girl.
mom.
Her parents are vets. So that's
Does
how.
Rachel do anything in this book? I'm like, I
Look,
feel like I've
Gianni,
mentioned Rachel 0 times.
she is Xena warrior princess. Okay, you don't
Who the
understand yet
fuck?
because you're not
She
there.
does. She does one thing in this book, and it's
She's
when she
tough.
becomes an elephant. But that's, but yeah, this sidelined the whole time. Applegate doesn't like women. Who's to say? What?
Wow, wow, Gianni, what a take. That's a hot take.
Just on the first book. Just on the first book. No,
Just on the
I
first
mean,
book.
maybe
I
it
mean,
gets better.
Cassie's pretty good. Her parents provide pretty much all the animals for them to acquire and morph into.
Yeah, I would if I had the ability to morph into animals. I too would befriend the person who works at the local zoo. So
Yeah,
he
fat
calls
and
them
ugly.
dogs.
Yeah,
Doesn't he call them dogs? I was
Yes,
like, dude,
and I was just like,
crazy.
Marco, oh, my God.
Pull back. And I mean, the other girls at least are like, whoa, chickadee check yourself before you riggedy wreck yourself. Too bad he already riggedy wrecked himself because I don't know how you recover from that one.
Well, then also
But
Jake
then,
kind of joins in a little bit, and I was like, Jake,
yeah, because Jake is a loser. All right, I'm
fucking
starting the
loser.
chant. Jake's a loser. All right.
All right.
Jake can't let anybody have their fun. He's like, no, I'm gonna be a little hidden flea on your dude. Whatever. All right. Let people like do their own thing. He's like, no, I'm the leader. Fuck you, dude. No, you're not. You're a little like he's a little follower. He's like, let me follow Marco around like a little fucking loser, dude. I'm not on Team Jake. Big time Team Rachel.
Wow,
And
Jake
so
hate is strong
they're
here.
I'm very anti-Jake, I have to say. If I had to rank the characters
Yes.
after this book, I'm ranking them Rachel number 1,
Uh-huh.
and then I'm ranking it Tobias,
Uh-huh.
and then Steep Gap, Cassie. Her name's Cassie, right?
What did Cassie do wrong?
I just don't know her, so she's
Okay,
like
all right,
Steep
all right,
Gap, whatever.
all right.
But she's like she looks pretty when she morphs. Cool.
Yeah.
Then Big Gap.
Uh-huh.
And then you got Jake, and then a little gap, and you got Marco.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the ranking. Actually, quick time out about this, because
Yeah.
I remembered that I was upset about this. Because so Jake, Jake says to the group,
Yeah.
he's like, oh yeah, they closed up the last entrance to the year pool, that one that was in the school. And everybody's like, what? How do you know that? And he's like, yeah, I just like kind of wanted to go check it out and see for myself or whatever. First of all, crazy. Second of all, they get all up Rachel's ass here. You'll see in the plot if you haven't read the book. You'll see in the plot when we describe it in a second. But they get all up Rachel's ass here about being like, you can't just go off by yourself. We're all a team. Fuck you, Jake. You did the same goddamn thing. And
Get
no
him.
one says a thing about it. Everyone's just like, oh yeah, Jake's the leader or whatever, so he can just do whatever. Bullshit. That guy sucks.
Get him, Gianni. Get him.
I'm
Drag
calling
his
it how I
ass.
see it.
That's right.
Call it how I see it.
A thought popped into my brain that was like, Tobias is a hawk. Does he now have the lifespan of a hawk?
Ooh, that's
Because he's
interesting.
in
What is the
morph.
lifespan of a hawk?
So I looked this up. Normally in the wild, red-tailed hawks live about 10 to 20 years.
Oh shit.
They can live up to 30 years in captivity. So even though that sounds like a long time, even if he got like the body of a young hawk, does he only live to 30? Or is he trapped in this age forever because of the DNA he acquired? Does it age?
Ooh,
Like,
yeah, we gotta address that question. That's like,
Yeah,
that's,
right?
Now that you've brought this up, this is now forefront of my mind. Moving forward, this has now become the number one plot point I need addressed immediately.
I mean, like, he can't be immortal, right?
We're in a race against the clock at this point.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. That's
So-
crazy.
So even if he lives the full 30 years as a hawk, that's still only half his real lifespan as a human being.
Dude, that's
So
nothing, man. You know, Aragorn, son of Arathorn, was 89 years old at the events of the Two Towers. And let me tell
that's
you,
true.
okay? They talked a lot about how horrible it would be when he passed away because he was still immortal. 89 years? If I live 89 years, shoot me in the fucking head, okay? That's a super long time. I'm ready to be euthanized at that point.
He also looked
30 years?
fantastic.
That's crazy.
Yeah, 30 years.
Yeah.
Like,
he looked exceptional.
that shot where he's opening up the doors and his wet hair is by his face. Boy, stop.
Stop. Okay, stop.
We gotta slow down here.
This is gonna become the horniest podcast of all time.
Dang it, Tobias, you brought it out of us.
Woo! But yeah, he's been feeding from his attic. I think it's also around this time where Tobias sees the other hawk again, the hawk that he had freed, and they're kind of doing a little dance,
A little flying together, a little hanging
They're
out.
doing a little flirty McGurdy up in the sky, and he's talking to himself, and he's like, I'm not into birds, but there's something about this girl.
This bird.
He doesn't say that at all, but that's totally what the sentiment is.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, there's something about this bird that's just getting me.
He's like,
Getting me fluttering.
I don't find her to be foul.
Oh! Straight to jail. Straight to jail. With you.
And Tobias and his friends get away, but then Tobias notices while they're in the forest, like recovering and hiding from the Yerks, he sees his female red hawk flying around, and they shoot her, and one of her wings disappears, and she falls to the ground.
Devastating.
And Tobias is like,
I'll never fuck that bird. That sucks, yeah.
I'm never gonna have bird sex.
We've all had the thought. There's a bird in everyone's life, and then if that bird goes down, immediately everybody's all had the thought, like, damn, I'm never gonna get to fuck that bird. That sucks. Jake comes by, and it's all flirty McGurdy over here.
Oh,
These
holding
little
hands.
Horn dogs.
She touches his cheek.
Horn dogs, dude.
She touches.
They can't help it.
They can't keep their hands off each other.
Dude, she's so fucking horny in this book. She says to him, she's like, no, she doesn't say to him. She says it to herself and to the audience, but she's like, yeah, I just love the way that he, like, smiles, because he smiles, like, a little bit slowly, like it doesn't belong on his face. And I'm like, what does that mean? That's so horny, dude.
Because, Gianni, he's such a hardened individual. He's such a hardened 10-year-old that, like, he's
So
not meant to
Jake,
smile. He's solemn.
Oh my god. Yeah. Oh, he's so moody and brooding, and oh my god. So I had a question for you.
Yes.
I like to think of myself as the smartest dumb idiot on the world. On the world, I said. In the world.
On the world.
On the world. That was so appropriate. So on the world, I feel like I am the smartest dumb idiot, and
Sure.
I am a dumb and know nothing about animals. I will say that as a disclaimer.
Ah.
Is it true that dolphins used to be land animals? That's like an actual working theory? Do you know?
That's a great question. I didn't
Because
look
she
that
just
up.
drops that lore, and I was like, really? That's a thing? Could you imagine a dolphin walking around? That would be crazy.
It's two back fins. Its back
Yeah,
fins are just feet and waddling like a penguin.
Yeah. I imagine it has spectacles for some reason.
Oh,
I think that would
top
be
hat
just
for sure.
fitting.
He's dressed like Mr. Peanut.
Yeah.
The deceased Mr. Peanut. That's
And the
what he's
tails.
dressed.
Yeah. Nuclear snooze.
My God, what if they morphed a Godzilla? What if they find a Godzilla in the
Endgame.
ocean?
Endgame, kid.
Holy
That's where
shit.
we're going.
If that
That's where
happens
we're
at the
going.
end, I'm gonna scream. I'm gonna be so happy.
I'm still holding out hope that, like, we get to, like, book 40 or something, and they find a time machine and start getting dinosaurs, because that me just that just is the natural conclusion, is that they become dinosaurs. That has to be what we do. It's just,
that would be amazing.
I mean, what otherwise? What are we doing here? You know what I mean?
Otherwise,
what are we doing?
This is all just a dream. This is all just a dream in sad Tobias's head. And the end of the book, he's going to wake up. and it's all made up, and it never happened.
I will actually burn these books to the ground if that ends up being the way that this whole series.
The Predator, and it's got
Yeah,
Marco on the front. I don't know if you looked at the cover, but
I did not yet.
this, okay. Let me see if I can
It
show.
looks sick.
Yeah, go
sick
look up
with
the
it.
cover of The Predator. Just
All right, hold on.
this, you have to look at the smirk on Marco's face is painful because it looks like they
Oh,
tried to
no.
make him look cocky, but they didn't do it quite right.
Ew, what happened?
It's like he's winking, but it's not comfortable winking. Like,
Oh no. This
the
dude,
fist.
that image where he's like still mostly boy but still a little bit of a
Little
gorilla.
gorilla.
Unreal, dude. Absolutely unreal.
Look at his pants and legs.
Also, they've been so explicit. Dude, also they've been so explicit at being like, clothes can't really come with you when you morph. You have to do like really like skin tight stuff
Yeah.
and not at all shoes. And they were like, no, let's give him the most noticeable fucking shoes of all time, actually.
And they're not bursting open. Okay, but like,
Oh my God.
look at his proportions in that second morph, right? Look at
That
his
is-
arms compared to his leg. His arms are down to his knees, and his calves are nearly
That is
non-existent.
the one I cannot look away from, honestly.
I love those
That is-
proportions. Tiny torso, long ass legs and arms. That's all you need.
Dude. Also, we forgot to talk about this, but worth mentioning that Marco basically thinks that Jake and Cassie are actually dating. They're like full
Oh
on dating.
yeah, he's like, yeah, it's totally obvious. They're a thing, and I'm
Yeah.
like, what?
Yeah, I'm like,
where's
wait,
this
I
conversation?
wanted to hear that. That was
Yeah.
important to me. I wanted to know.
Yeah.
And Marco just brushes it off like it's nothing, and he acknowledges
He's
it
like,
a couple of
"Shh."
times, and I was like, dude, did you forget that I'm reading this? I want to know this.
Gianni, how dare he forget about you?
I mean, come on. Yeah, get it.
Yeah.
Come on, Marco. I mean, it's not all about you, pal. Yeah, you and your sob story mom, man. What about me? I need the romance.
That's right. This is not a horny book. This one.
Yeah, not nearly.
The last
horny
two
enough.
were.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Tobias one and the Cassie one were, and this one is not. This one's
we
the
gotta get
least
back to our
horny.
roots. Gotta get back to our roots here.
Hopefully, the next one will be hornier.
Yeah.
So. No, that's gross. Gianni, they're children. God.
I keep forgetting.
Jesus Christ.
I know. I don't need. I like just fade to black. Like I don't need anything. But like But I like a little romance. All right.
A little
sue
bit of
me.
romance is nice. A little bit of
I
subtlety.
like a little romance.
like that.
Bridgerton's been off Netflix for. I mean, it hasn't been had a new season in a while, so I'm kind of I need a little.
You can't get your
I need
kicks
a
from
little
that. I'm sorry.
I know. I'm Jones.
I've never seen it because I'm scared of how horny it'll make it me.
Oh, it's
So-
great. Oh, it's great. Oh man, you're in for a ride, dude. Let me tell you.
I can't wait.
It's sauce. Absolutely sauce. It's all been good so far.
Mm-hmm.
Still waiting for a book where this just falls
Where you get the
falls
suck.
off the rails. Yeah, I can't wait to get the suck. I am looking. Hey, listen, if I'm the head coach of a football team
Yes.
and I run out of the tunnel and I fall flat on my face,
Yes.
literally.
Uh-huh.
And then the other team is like, oh, we found your plays. You just dropped them on the ground. Let's just read those real quick. No one is going to be like, oh, yeah, we could trust this coach. Let's keep backing this guy. And that's basically the plot of The Capture.
Oh my god,
It's basically what happens. And but it's that, but if then I was like, yeah, I'm just kind of the leader of this group. And then all my players are like, yeah, he's just like such a leader. Drives me nuts, man.
But then
Drives me nuts.
the football coach that lost the plays ends up murdering the entire football team and the other football coach, thereby winning the game.
We'll see.
did like this book. Jake is definitely growing on me. Sorry, Gianni. But maybe it can be a goal for me to get you to like Jake in future books as we move along. I mean, he is a
Tall
natural
order.
born leader. He just leads so
God.
good. He
I
leady
want this guy
McLeaderson over here.
I want him to lead himself into a ditch. I'm over it. No, he's fine. He's great. We love
Prince Jake.
sick of him. But ultimately, what's very interesting about this book, right? So I'm reading it, right, and I'm going through, and we keep having this ongoing joke, which is not a joke, that the book titles for this series are usually not relevant. They are sometimes relevant, but they are
like
usually
relevant
not
by
relevant.
a stretch, but not always.
And my
relevant.
headcanon remains the same, that I think that K.A. Applegate just put a bunch of different titles into a hat and then just picked them out. And then when they lined up, she was like, oh my god, great. And the whole time I'm reading, because it's about halfway through the book when things really start to take a turn.
Yeah.
And the whole time I'm reading this first half, and I was like, there's not going to be a single fucking capture in this book. I was like, she really had the audacity to call this thing the capture.
In there, they morph out, they find this big like hole in the ground with a lid over it, which I imagine like, you know, those fancy dinner platters with like the what's that big fancy silver dome over the top? I don't remember what those are called.
We're gonna sound like fucking idiots, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know exactly. Okay, I'm just doing the motion here on the video, guys, and Gianni knows.
Yeah, this guy.
You know what? You know what I'm talking about. The thing that goes like that.
Sir, yes.
Bonjour.
Little hole. Yeah.
So it has one of those domes on it. They pick up the dome, and they're like, "What is this brown sledgy pool?" I had it, and it just slipped my head. I had the name of it in my head.
Lid.
Yeah, serving plate lid. I know what it is.
It can't just be called a plate cover.
No, it's not. It's
here. No, what is the dome? No, come on.
Figure it out, Gianni.
Platter cover? What is this? Come on. What is this thing? It's got to have a fucking real name.
It does. I know it has a name. I just can't. I don't know what it is. Yeah.
Is the
Google it.
the lid of a serving plate called?
It'll be like lid.
Oh, that is not what I thought. A cloche?
A cloche.
A cloche?
That's it. A cloche.
A cloche.
It is a cloche.
Wow. That is. I never would have guessed that in a million
Excellent.
years.
I had it in my brain. It just was way deep in the back recesses. Good job with the teamwork, Gianni. A cloche. Right, well, if you guys want to send us an email, if you want to connect with us and say hello, you can email us. Don't laugh at my hello. What if someone says hello like that? Hello.
No, that was great. That was great. No, if you say hello like that, for real,
hello.
Don't email us. Send us a voice memo. I'll give you my number.
Oh my God, how crazy would that be if
I'll
someone
literally
sent us a voice
give you
memo?
my cell phone number if you think
Johnny, don't do that. It's a bad idea.
If you say hello like that, for real, I will give you my number.
Anyway, you can email us at morphinbuddies@gmail.com, morphinbuddies @gmail.com, and we will hopefully. Oh, there he goes. Lost Gianni.
I forgot you spell out Gmail. I forgot you did that.
I forgot I did that too, and then as I was spelling this out, I remembered it, and I was like, maybe I should just spell the whole thing.
No, it's your trademark now. You have to keep
I have
doing
to
it.
now. Now I have to.
It's the funniest thing. They, the next day, like, she's kind of like going through it, right? She's in her angsty feels.
Mm-hmm.
They all meet up as
school.
a group.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're talking about what happened. They're talking about, like, where'd you get this grizzly morph? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I snuck
my
into
God.
whatever.
Can we talk about this scene a little bit? Because, look, Jake earned a point in my book. Earned a point in my book in the last book.
Yeah.
He goes down a notch for me in this book. because
Yeah.
Rachel, he's like, you were in morph all day and not at school, and Rachel's like, yeah, I was. I needed some time to think. And then it describes that he gets inches away from her face and he starts yelling at her for being in morph by herself for the day. And I'm like, okay, Jake, time to back it up. Let's back
Yeah.
up this train a little bit. Let's pull it back.
Yeah.
And then when he gets out of her face, he's like, you know what? I don't even care. I don't even care. Whatever. And I'm like, all right, no need to be a dick. Like, I get it, you're a
Yeah.
child and you have rage and emotions and shit. No.
No, but he's a leader.
He's-
He's a leader, so you really gotta respect him.
I
and his
forgot.
authority.
He's the leader. I should respect that. You're right. Yeah, I was.
I'm glad you're on the. I'm glad you're on the bandwagon now.
Whoa,
okay?
hang
'Cause
on.
Jake,
Hang on. I'm like mid
get on.
bandwagon.
No, get on. No. You're like running to catch the train car.
I got one hand, but I
got
can't
my
get my
hand
feet
out
on
to
the
you.
ground.
Yeah.
I'm just running, but I have one hand on. How
yeah.
are you doing in this hot summer weather?
I'm miserable. This is my least favorite time of the year, personally.
Same.
I recognize
Same.
that other people really like summer, and
love it.
I think that those people should be shot. No disrespect, but I think that those people are crazy people.
Yeah, psychopaths.
If you really
All of
like
you.
the sun, I get it. Spring is far superior to summer. This is so hot. It's humid, miserable.
Yep.
I mean, it may not
Sweaty.
be. I don't know where you audience person are listening to this from, but like maybe it's not humid for you. We live in
Lucky.
New York. It's humid. It's disgusting.
Gross.
I walk outside. I'm immediately sweating. My dog,
Yes.
miserable.
Yep.
She hates the heat too. And I also think that she hates it because I hate it. So we just double down on each other's energy. We're walking around for like 2 seconds. We're like, does this suck? She looks at me and tells me in her dog voice, yes, this sucks. And I say, how did you get human sentience? But then we ignore that and we go back inside. And it's just awful.
Yep. And then the sentience is gone. Then it's just dog and human.
Yeah, go
Only
figure.
comes out in the summer.
Yeah,
Really
yeah.
interesting.
Super odd how that works. Winter's my favorite season because I like the
Oh
cold.
my god, me too! I
Right?
cannot tell you how many people I tell this to, and they're like, you're crazy. And I'm like, no, screw you. Hot chocolate, warm blankets, curled up on a couch, watching a movie,
Yeah.
snuggling up next to your loved ones. Christmas? Hello?
Come on.
Hanukkah?
Literally, all of your
Kwanzaa?
favorite stuff happens like late in the year. Like,
Yeah.
it also though, like, you can get warmer in the cold. Like, you can
Yes.
wear more things, and
Yes.
that's fine. You can't. There's only so much you can take off in the heat, and
Before it's illegal.
Yeah, and I look as someone who likes to dress a little bit slutty, even I am like, whoa, I got to pump the brakes on this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't always be. I mean, I got hairy shoulders, I got a hairy back. I can't be just like rocking that out everywhere. Like, I can go to a very specific like gay bar and still be accepted
Or
there.
Brighton
But that's
Beach.
about it. Yeah, like that's about it though. I can't
Yeah,
just be
I get
wandering
that.
around. You know, it's a Gilligan's Island. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's just
I
a
get that.
fend for yourself kind of situation out here. It's
I
just
can see you
brutal.
taking the bottom hem of your shirt and tucking it into the collar of your shirt so you have a crop top. And you're so cute in your summer boy top.
Yeah. with my little bow.
With your little bow. Your
Yeah,
sassy
and no
little
pants.
dog walk.
And
Nope.
no pants.
No pants. Illegal.
Obviously, Jake is feeling a little, I think, sensitive because Thom is a controller and Thom could theoretically be exposed. And Axe actually brings up that directly and says, like, would you have risked your brother's life if I had told you? Would you have destroyed the Kandrona if I had told you? And Jake's like, you don't know a thing about us at all. And hey, shut up, Jake. All right, so like I'll say it. I know everybody was waiting for it. It's like 30 minutes into the podcast. Wow, he hasn't said a single bad thing about Jake. Hey, shut up, dweeb. it's okay to
Honestly,
admit.
I was thinking that.
Like, it's okay to admit that, like, yeah, like, he kind of cooked with that, because he kind of made a good point. Like, of course it would have brought some sort of skepticism to the plan if you had known. You wouldn't want to expose all of these innocent people to dying. You would have wanted to try to find an alternative way, because that's the whole reason you're doing this in the first place, if we can recall, Jake. I remember back to the first book where you were like, we have to keep going because I have to make sure, I have to believe that my brother can still be saved. Newsflash, pal. Okay, if the Kandrona was destroyed and you knew the whole time that there was a chance that they would have to kill your brother, you probably wouldn't have destroyed it. So, like, sorry, but you don't have to roast my boy Axe just because you're feeling a little sensy poo about his little observation of fact. Ridiculous.
Gianni. I was speaking to one of my workmates, Peter, and I was telling him about our podcast, and he has no idea about Animorphs. He knows nothing about it. So I had to kind of like give him a little bit of backstory and everything. And he's like, so he's like, who's the villain? Who's the bad guy? And I was like, Visser 3. He's the Visser. He's very scary. And Peter was like, who do you think you would want him, like, to play him in like a movie version or a TV version? And I was like, that's a great question. And he was like, I have an idea. And I was like, okay, go for it. He's like, Christopher Walken. And I was like, get out. Please leave. Please leave.
The Visser. It's Visser 3.
I'm here. So then that kind of
came to Earth.
the yerk in my brain.
Teach you humans a lesson. Oh my god, that's so
terrible
funny.
impressions aside, who do you think would be the best and the worst casting choice for Visser 3? That was the question that popped up in my head. So I don't know, Gianni, if that's something you had any like inkling of an idea in your head.
My go-to, like, I tend to have like a default like 4 people that always pop into my head for like any given character, and it's kind of it's unfortunate sometimes, because sometimes it like really limits your ability to be able to see someone else like adapt a thing. You're like, that's not who I saw. So it's like, for me, when I read Visser 3, and especially this is like a little spoiler, but like there's really nothing to spoil in this book, but this is a little spoiler for this book, but you actually see Visser 3 in human form for the first time in this book. And for me, the person who plays Visser 3 is always Idris Elba. And Idris Elba is one of my, like, 4, like, default people at all times for, like, if I'm throwing in, like, any character that has any sort of gravitas, if I'm picturing it in my mind, it's usually always Idris Elba or it's John Hamm. Those are the two.
Oh, those would be good.
And Visser 3, I always picture as Idris Elba. And then especially when we get to see him as a human, I was like, oh, they get to actually have Idris Elba.
That would be
like
so sick. That would actually,
I think he would do great.
That's a great choice. And I think he would have a lot of fun doing this also.
I think so too, because I think, especially like in the last, I don't know, decade or so, Idris Elba kind of came hot. He, was like the it guy. And then I think he was like, I think he made an active decision to be like, all right, I want to have like a little more fun now.
Yeah.
So now he does like Beast, like that movie where he like fights the lion, and then like
shit, that's right. Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, and then he's in Hijack. Also, I think he got nominated for an Emmy today, so congratulations.
Oh,
that
congrats
also dates
to
the
him.
recording date. But yeah, he got nominated for an Emmy today for Hijack. But like Hijack, kind of a hokey concept in the sense, but yeah, I love Idris Elba, and I think he'd have a great time doing this. Worst that I can think of, Lin-Manuel Miranda would be awesome. It'd be so great.
He would insist on writing a musical number.
Yeah, oh my god, I would love to hear what he cooks up for that. You Animorphs, you better get on over here.
I wish I could freestyle rap.
Yeah, oh yeah, I wish I
could freestyle rap.
No, I have a mediocre Lin-Manuel Miranda impression, but I cannot
that's
throw
pretty
a song
good, though.
onto it.
I think that's pretty
my
good.
name is Visser 3.
I hope you keep me in your memory.
Yeah. Oh, that was good.
There we go. There's a bar.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
one
yeah.
bar. That's all I
Yeah,
have.
yeah.
I have no more bars. In this moment when they're all meeting up, Cassie calls Jake an amazingly cool guy.
Oh, I noticed. I literally noticed. You know what my first thought to myself was, too?
What?
I was like, I don't understand why I want them to kiss so bad. I'm like, I have no idea.
You're
I
invested.
think I really just am like a yearner. Like, I yearn for romance. And I read these books and I'm like, why do I want this so bad? But I do. I really
You want
it.
the romance.
But then I read something like Fourth Wing, and I'm like, I don't want it that bad. Like, it's not that. Like, I was reading, like, what's that? No, maybe it was the sequel to Fourth. I can't remember, but there's, like, light spoilers. But, like, there's, like, some moment in Fourth Wing where it's like, yeah, like, she reached into his waistband and, like, grabbed the length of him or something. And I was like, that's okay. You could cut the black.
You could have just cut to black. You could have.
That's okay. I don't need all that. She demorphs. He goes off. He goes
in
off
front
on
of
her.
everyone. In front of everyone.
Yeah.
He screams in her face. He yells at her in front of Tobias and Marco. And then he looks at the both and he's like, you guys need to leave right now. As soon as they leave, Jake was like, Cassie, I was really scared I was going to lose you. Cassie, I really care about you, Cassie, and I didn't want to lose you, and I got really scared. I got scared. And,
Listen.
yeah, go ahead, Gianni. What are your thoughts? What
No,
are your
okay.
opinions?
What do you think they are? What do you think
I
they
think
are?
you think this is a great decision, a great showcase of leader skills.
Who?
First off, who do you think you are, Jacob?
Who? Yeah, I feel like that scene in The Office. Right? Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are, though? For real, who do you think? Where do you get off, sir? Unreal. No one is saying that this was not a smart decision from Cassie to do. Of course not.
No.
And Tobias could have just as easily woken her up himself. Okay?
Yeah.
He could have.
He was around.
I don't understand.
Why do you have to go get Jake?
Why do we need this guy?
You know what?
Okay?
Tobias is a snitch. Snitch.
Snitch. You're so right.
Snitch.
You're so right.
Snitches get stitches.
You're so right. Honestly, Tobias
Snitch.
knocked him down in my ranking. Just for that. You're right.
That
You're
sucks.
right. You're absolutely right. But it's unbelievable. Okay?
Yeah.
You have all the capability yourself to wake this bitch up. I don't. Why do we need?
It's good.
Can I look at the next one?
Yes. Oh, yes. Let's please look at the next one.
I have. It's the Android. Is that right?
Yes. Okay. So this is
My God.
yes. Gianni just looked at the cover of this book.
You gotta be shitting me. That can't be. No way.
Look at that third morph, Gianni. Look at that chin. Look at that chin. So what are we looking at, Gianni?
God.
Look at what's on the cover of this book.
Oh my God.
Gianni is stunned.
I have literal tears. in my eyes. This is the worst one we've seen so far.
This is pretty bad.
By a country mile.
Yeah.
This is
Yes.
unreal.
It's pretty bad.
So it's Marco.
Yes.
It's Marco. And he's squats down.
Yeah, he's squatting with his fist by his
He
side.
becomes a tarantula, but he's literally doing like a Goomba pose. I mean, wow.
He is.
Here.
Who invites dads to the sharing?
Thom.
Thom does. We call him Thom until he earns our respect. We'll wait. I'll wait for the day Thom earns our respect.
It won't happen. It won't
We
happen.
don't-
Jake
we don't know
can't
that.
even earn our,
We don't know
Jake
that.
can't even earn our respect.
That's true. Jake can't.
Thom.
If Thom earns your respect before Jake does. Do you see that as like happening, being a possibility?
That is a distinct possibility. Yeah, I like that is absolutely on the table for sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
Thom. We know Thom is just being like tortured behind his little yerk brain.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the poor guy kind of already has my respect a little bit. He has my pity, which
Yeah.
is almost
Feel
which is
bad for
almost
him.
respect.
She's like,
Yeah.
Marco,
What about arachnids, which are so different from insects?
they are so different. They explained it.
Listen, I'm gonna say something, and this is gonna be controversial, okay, to the listeners. But this is
Gianni.
here's the thing: a bug is a bug.
Here we go.
All right, let's be real.
Uh-huh.
A bug, it's
Uh-huh.
a bug. That's a bug, right?
Well,
a
bug
fish
is
a
like
fish.
a general term.
Here's the thing: a fish is a fish, right? A bug is a bug, and a bird
Uh-huh.
is a bird. There's no other animal types. That's it. That's just all that they are. Go ahead.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Is a dolphin a fish?
Yes.
No, it's not.
It's a fish.
No, it's not.
No, here's
it's a
the
mammal.
thing. Here's the thing. All right, and I know this is hard for a lot of you listeners out there and your lizard brains to hear. But here's the deal.
Don't
okay?
you dare insult our wonderful listeners.
the deal.
All 10 of them are very special.
Here's the deal. A bug is a bug, and a fish is a fish, and a bird is a bird, and that's it.
Wow.
And everything else, that's just an animal. That's
Wow.
it. There's 4 types. That's it. That's all they are. Does it fly?
We-
That's a bird.
We
They pop in. Eric's dad's like a little weird.
Yeah. It's a
And
little weird.
and he's like, "Do you like dogs?" And Cassie's like, "I wish I could be one." And he's like, "Okay." You know, like this is.
That's
they're
exactly
about to
how he
get
is,
murdered.
though.
Yeah,
He's like, you
they're
like
about
dogs?
to get, they're about to get skinned alive. Is what I immediately thought. Forgot him.
They all left him in the woods. Like Open Water. Was that the movie where they forgot the 2 people that went scuba diving? And the boat left? And
Oh yeah, open water. Yeah.
nightmare
Yeah.
fuel.
Worst case scenario.
I don't know if I can watch that. I'm scared to go on boats.
Not to throw us. Wait, you've never seen it?
No, I haven't because I'm scared.
Oh,
That's like one of my like worst fears is to be
I was
left
about to
out
just
in the middle
spoil
of
it.
the
I was
ocean.
about to spoil.
Oh no,
it.
you
So
can
I'm glad
spoil
did.
it. I know they don't make it. They just die out there. And there's like
Yeah, well,
sharks and shit.
All right, well, so spoilers for Open Water.
Yeah,
actually,
sorry.
spoilers for Open Water 2 also. So-
Wait, there's a 2? How is
Yeah,
there a
there's
2? How?
I'm pretty sure there's a 3 also.
What? That's not possible. They die in
So-
the first one.
Yeah, so Open Water 1, one of the bleakest movies I think I've ever seen. 'Cause
Yeah.
the whole time you just watch them struggle out there, and then they like try to get together some sort of effort to go save them, and they die. They die
Yeah.
in the open water.
And it's based on a
The
true
second
story.
one-
It's a true story. This
This-
actually did happen. They left people out there and didn't
It's true.
find them ever again.
It's true. And so so it's kind of a fictionalized retelling of what they think happened to them,
Yeah.
but they're not really sure. But the second one is crazier though, because the plot of the second one is
Even
like
opener.
downright stupid. So the second one is like these people on like a party yacht, and they all like jump off the boat. To like swim in the water,
Yeah.
and they realize that no one was left on the boat to like let down any sort of ladder or whatever, so they're just swimming next to this boat, unable to get back
Are
on.
you kidding me?
Nightmare. Absolute nightmare. I think about the plot of Open Water 2 like at least once a
Wait,
week.
why can't they just like make a human ladder of themselves and have someone climb up their bodies onto the boat
Listen,
to let something?
You're gonna have to watch the movie to find out. You really, I mean, I hope that entices somebody out there, because it's not. I mean, it's not a great movie. I don't
No,
wanna-
of
I don't
course
wanna
not. What's the
hype
third
it up,
one?
But just like, I don't know, but I'm just pretty sure there is a third one. Should I look it
Yeah,
up?
please look up if there's a third one because I want to see how it gets
All right.
more open
I'm
water.
giving it a goog.
Yeah, give it a goog.
I'm giving it a goog. There is a third Open Water.
Yes.
It is
okay.
Open Water 3 Cage Dive.
That's
and
not
from
open.
what I gather,
That's a cage.
Well, from what I
Caged
gather,
water.
the cage, the shark cage, is left in the ocean. That seems to be the plot.
No,
of the third
you
one. I
can't
have not seen it,
do
so
that.
I cannot attest.
They gotta pull the cage back
You
on the
can't
boat.
just leave it.
You can't just leave a cage with people in it in
You
the
can't
ocean.
just leave it.
You can't.
Cassie shows up, and then like he's embarrassed about it, but then he kind of like takes her into a little dance thing.
He
they
kind
have
of
like
rolls
a
with
little
it a
cute
little
moment
bit
together. Yeah, like this was really cute. This was a cool subversion of expectations.
Yeah. Did you still want them to kiss?
Yeah, I do. I don't know what it is about me, man. Like, I'm not even a Jake fan. I'm not like, but I get like a touch of romance, and I turn into someone else. I'm like, yay,
do it.
Kids.
Oh no, not yet.
Like
maybe next book.
He says it like 4 times or whatever, but he's just like, yeah, I kind of really like her, if you catch my meaning.
I kind of like her.
And I'm like, ooh.
The whole gang goes, they become flies, which there was a line in this that made me laugh and think of our last episode, because Jake did say being a fly is nothing like being a bird. So I guess you were right, Gianni. It qualifies as a bug and not a bird.
I told you that there's only... You know what's so funny, too, after we talk about this?
What?
I've told so many people now about this thing, because my new bit is like, hey, what's like a hill you'll die on that is like totally not important to anything. And then I explain my example, which is like, a bug is a bug, and a bird is a bird, and a fish is a fish. And then that's it. And at first everyone is like, what? And then eventually it either goes into 2 camps where someone's like, yeah, that makes sense to me. Or they're like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard of in my life. And I think it's great. I
think you need to post this on unpopular opinions on Reddit.
I think so.
Yeah.
Because I think that more people need to be talking about this. But it's just true.
Wait.
A spider's a bug. Let's not... What are we doing here?
Actually...
Spider's a bug. A bug is a bug.
It's funny, when I was in the shower this morning, there was a spider, and then there was another little bug just hanging out in the shower, because it just rained a lot, and it's humid, so they're all kind of coming out. And first one I was like, oh, sorry, spider, I didn't mean to get you wet. I wouldn't have killed you. Sorry. And then I look at the other one, and I'm like, is that a spider or is that a bug? And I was like, no, a bug is a bug.
No, a bug is a bug. It doesn't matter if it's
a
spider or a bug. It's a bug.
It's a bug.
It's a bug.
It's a bug. That made me think of you this morning.
Someone said crab to me, though.
Crab.
And it did give me pause. It did give me pause.
Yeah.
I've landed on it's a bug.
Technically, they're kind of sea bugs.
Yeah.
Wait.
It's a bug. Lobster's a bug.
What about clams?
A bug.
Wait, okay, what about flying fish? Because they fly.
It's a fish. It's a fish.
But they fly.
If it's fish in the name, then it's a fish.
Good point.
That's a fish.
I'm going to try to find more animals where I'm like, explain this. Wait, what about like a platypus?
That's a fish.
Because it lays eggs and swims.
Yeah, I mean, platypus is kind of like, take your pick, Platypus could be a all.
It could be a mammal. Wait, are mammals included in your criteria?
No, I don't give a fuck. If it's a fish, it's a fish. Like, if it's a whale, guess what? That's a fish.
It's a mammal!
No, it's a fish. Quick sidebar, do you think K.A. Applegate was just eating at a rainforest cafe and had this idea?
God, I hope so.
I think that's how it happened.
I think she's...
Applegate was just like, wait a second.
Wait a minute.
Like they did the rain every 20 minutes, and she was like,
the thunderstorm. Hey, this gives me an idea. Michael,
I'm on to something.
Michael, you have your notebook. Get the notebook.
And starts scribbling frantically.
You
Stunning.
remember?
Yeah,
she's turning
the bear.
into the bear.
Oh, God, awful. Just atrocious. Oh, my goodness. Okay.
So, yeah I'm really... Can you hear that?
Well, we gotta get out of here so we can let that guy do his thing. 'Cause he is
dude,
working.
That guy. Okay, so you hear him?
I do. I can hear him.
Welcome to New York,
boy.
folks.
And Jake is going full Jake mode.
In his low, silky voice.
Oh my god, just punch him in the throat already. But he's like, I can't believe you would do this. It's so irresponsible. And we never morph for no reason.
Yeah.
Even though this was a particularly good reason. And blah, blah, blah. And then Tobias is like, shut up, dude. But he won't say it out loud because, listen, I'm going to say it. It's a little bit of a bitch, all right? A little bit of a bitch. Didn't want to step toe-to-toe with the boy. Wanted to talk behind his back a little bit. I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know.
Wow, Gianni. Those are strong words. Those are strong words.
I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm throwing it out there.
Uh-huh. So, yeah, so she's doing a little research, and then, what's going on? She's starting to morph? She's starting to morph into an animal? Exactly. She like goes to the hospital and they're like, she's answering questions and stuff. And the dad's like, do you want to go on like talk shows and like talk about this? Because I'm a news reporter. I got connections. And she's like, actually, can you get me on the Barry and Cindy Sue show? I'm going to trip over that sentence every
Barry
time.
and Cindy Sue.
Because I want Cindy Sue show. That's a tongue twister.
Barry and Cindy Sue show.
Okay, well.
That is tough.
Yeah,
That's
right?
a tough one.
Try Irish wristwatch. Try that one.
Am I going to say something?
No.
Okay.
No. That's the best tongue twister I've come across. Irish wristwatch.
Irish wristwatch. Irish wristwatch. Irish.
Oh.
I did. Yeah.
Irish
Irish wristwatch.
Yeah. Right.
Irish.
That one twists you up. Definitely try it out at home. We'll wait.
Did you like that?
Did you like it? Was that fun? Cool.
It was something javelin fish, but I can't remember that first word.
Lebton javelin fish.
Is this a real fish, or is this?
No, this is from a different planet. This is from.
Got it. I was just checking it.
There's no giant stingray that shoots spears out of its back.
Here's the thing, guys.
Yes.
I know you're saying to yourself, Gianni's an idiot, and you would be right. But I have had too many hot takes on this show about my opinions about animals to be fooled by something like that being a real animal. So I just wanted to be sure as we proceed forward. I was 99% confident that it was not, but I didn't want to get caught for a fool.
See, folks, remember, a fish is a fish, a bird is a bird, a bug is a bug.
Correct. A bug is a bug, and a lizard is a lizard, which is a new one I've added to the race because I realized there's snakes and stuff, and I was like, I can't really fit it. So
okay, all right, still no mammals though.
Crocodile, snake.
All right, accepted.
Or a lizard, whatever you could. No, let's call it snake. I think snake's more fun.
A lizard is a snake. I think you did call snake. Wait, a lizard is a snake. Gianni, a lizard is a snake. Why can't you just say reptiles? Because they're all cold-blooded.
That's silly.
Wow. And we still don't have any mammals, correct?
Nah.
No. Mammals, not real. Humans?
Nah.
Nope. What is a human then? What would you classify a human as?
No, there's the everything else. That's what
Humans versus everything else.
Yeah. There's the humans, monkeys, pigs, dogs, cats. That's everything else. I was thinking about this, though, actually just now when you were talking about how beefy Elfangor looks, and I think about this from time to time,
How how long do you think it would take? So, say an alien species came to Earth and revealed themselves to be some sort of sentient species. How long do you think it would take before we try to fuck one? Because I think, as a human species, I don't think it would take very long. I think
You'd be down for Elfangor?
I think it wouldn't take that long. I think that I'm not saying me in particular. Like, I look at Elfangor and I'm like,
Sure.
wow.
Sure.
But I'm not saying I in particular would be like, take me. But the fact that
you got to be
even
wined and dined
considering
first.
the fact that I'm even considering it tells me something, which is that there is definitely someone out there who's a bit more of a risk taker, a bit more of a go-getter,
Likes to live dangerously.
and I think obviously they'd have to, like, you know, government protocol or whatever, they'd have to, you know, because they're gonna do their boring bullshit
Sure.
or whatever. But once, like, aliens are living here, I give it 3 months. 3 months. 3 months tops. Someone's gonna fuck one.
Oh my god.
And that's like pushing it. You know what
Look,
I mean? Like,
Gianni.
someone's gonna try to fuck one in the first day. It's just a question of, like, whether or not they're gonna.
Gianni, look, I gotta tell you, you're close to another plot point in this book.
Shut up.
I can't, I have,
Makes love with a human.
I can't tell you if he did or didn't. I cannot confirm or deny. But
You're actually
you're
joking.
kind of close to a plot point in this book. Folks, if you know, you know.
You're actually joking.
I'm not. I'm
so excited. I'm so excited. I'm finally gonna get the juicy romance that I've been looking for.
You might actually get your yearning sense tingled a little bit in this book.
Colleen Hoover certainly couldn't provide it, but maybe K.A. Applegate can.
We don't know what sex is. That's not a real thing. It's a myth.
Sorry,
It's,
sex, you said?
Yeah. Have you ever heard of it?
No. What?
I'm told it happens, but it's like a myth. I don't know.
That's not real.
It's sus.
Never heard of it, actually.
So
Insufferable.
like boring. He's like that friend that won't shut the fuck up about their new iPhone and how cool it is and how different it is from all the other iPhones. He's like that. Everyone's like, dude, we get it. We're done. We get it. You love it. Shut up.
First of all, this sounds like an experience that's very specific to you.
I am an
Second of all,
Android user. So
you really
fuck
were
you.
You were like,
Little bit.
oh, what can I compare it to? Oh, I know this fucking guy.
They're
Like,
insufferable.
yeah. I'm an iPhone user, so
No, I'm sorry. Your
how
software
can you stand a green
blows.
bubble? You know, how can you?
I've
stand
had
a green bubble?
both. I've had both iPhone and Android. I've had them both at the same time when I had to have a work phone and a regular phone.
That's crazy.
The iPhone drove me up the wall more often than not. Look, I know it's a stupid debate. Everybody should just pick whatever the fuck they want. I just don't like the software of iPhones, and I think they're garbage phones. Anyway. What would you want your main battle morph to be? Personally, I've always wanted to go with something wild like a Komodo dragon. Anyway, keep it up and I'll see you later. Thank you, Sean.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did think about it, although I don't know if my answer is going to be particularly satisfying to the end.
What is it?
My gut instinct was, and it's just because it just is my favorite animal, is a platypus, and I really want to get platypus.
That's not a battle animal.
I think no, they are, because
Are they?
they're like one of the most poisonous aquatic animals.
Ooh.
So I'm just saying, I could put up a little fight.
You could.
You know, and it's a mammal, but it lays eggs, so I think it just like me, it's a little confusing.
Slap them
Like, how
around
did
with your
this
webbed feet.
yeah, like how did this existence come to be?
Uh-huh.
Like people ask the same thing when they see me, and so I I think there's just a kindred spirit, but then they just also are super poison. I will also
Yeah.
say though, fortunately, so I read it today, and I think how appropriate because it's today, just to paint the picture for the people out there if they really care.
Yeah.
Um,
Close your eyes, people.
It's really like moody out, and it's like kind of
Yeah.
cloudy, and it's a little bit chilly.
Yeah.
And it's like fall has just finally crept in, and so it's like
You
the
can feel the
perfect
crisp
day.
air.
Yeah, it's a perfect day for a little blanket on your nice little
Ooh.
sofa chair. You know, just cozying
Oh.
up, and then reading this angsty as hell book about this like. This
My
teenage
heart.
boy who just yearns to be a teenager again, but he's stuck as
Yeah.
a bird. And I'm like,
know.
yeah, this is me today, you know?
He's just going through it, Gianni.
Art
like we
reflects
said.
life, guys. And I know that this one is not necessarily new, but I loved, you know, as a romantic myself, I love that when he sees Rachel, he makes some comment about, you know, you ever just seen somebody who just looks like they have a spotlight on them at all times?
Yeah, so cute.
And I was like, literally, make her kiss you on your bird mouth right now, or I riot.
Gianni, did you feel like you had a little spotlight on yourself in that moment?
No, I felt like, man, I felt like that's how I feel every time I see a person of the opposite sex on the subway. I'm like, wait, did we catch eyes? Are we in love right now?
Are we in love right now? And then you're like, oh, no, okay, I'll just stay over here and not look at you anymore. Sorry for making eye contact. Please don't hurt me.
I literally, I was talking about this with my friend Grant one time, and we were. I was like, can I confess something to you? He's like, of course. And I was like, I think, and I know that this is irrational, but I think that if someone of the opposite sex catches my eye, that we're in love and destined to be together.
Especially on the train in New York. Actually, you want to know something? So
Yeah.
recently I had my birthday party and Gianni was invited with a few other friends. My married couple friend, Margaret and Paul, they actually met on the train. And they started...
No, see?
Yeah, they started talking and then they went on dates and now they're married. So,
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. You know what's also funny about it, though, is that I would never in a million years ever approach somebody.
I know you wouldn't.
That's the other
I
thing.
wouldn't
I
either.
would never.
Actually, well,
I would never.
Okay, one time I did slide a note to a guy on his knee.
Stop it. No, you
I
did
did.
not.
I did because I was like 22. And I was
That
like,
is
I was
so
like,
bold.
I can do that. I'm an adult. I'm an independent adult, and I think he's super
Did it work?
cute. I slid him this tiny piece of paper that said, "Hi, I think you're really cute. Here's my number if you ever want to talk." And then I immediately got off at the next stop. So like it was like doors open. I slid him the note. I got off at the station, and then
yeah.
I see him like open it and reading it, and then I was just like, and then he didn't contact me. And then, like 5 years later, I get a text from someone saying, "Hey, do I know you?" And I was like, "I don't know. Like, who are you?" And he's like, "I don't know. I had your number in my desk. It looks like it was ripped off a note." And I was like, "Oh, I think it's the guy I slipped that note to, because it was a tiny piece of
Wow.
paper." And I think it was him, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna hang out at this bar if you're nearby." And I was like, "Oh, maybe." And because I was a little bit older, I was like, maybe not the best idea. So I didn't
So you didn't go?
No, I didn't go because I was like too nervous. I didn't know anything about this guy, you know? I didn't know.
Oh,
and I had no
man.
self-confidence, so, you know.
Now I'll never know.
We'll
No,
never
we'll
know.
never know.
Unless he reaches out to me again. It's like, "Do I know you again?" And I was like, I don't know. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it was that guy that I slipped his number to because I never did that.
He kept that note
in his desk drawer.
for 5
He did.
years.
He did. And he ripped off the note and he kept the number.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, amazing. Anyway.
Axe is like, you're not a Yeerk? Prove it. And this psychopath...
I love this part. I was like, holy shit, he's metal as fuck, dude.
He cuts into his skull...
Yeah, and
he's
then
like, pries it open and is like, look, no Yeerk in there. And they're like, holy shit, this dude's fucking hardcore.
Well, so cool. Okay, they got the valley.
Again, just to, because now it's a nook in my, now it's just a hooking in my.
Go off,
if it is true, like, if the Ellimist could just create places, safe havens, he couldn't have made it, I don't know, right next to where they escaped from? Like, why? Like, I don't understand. Like,
Gianni,
what are the limits of the Ellimist's power?
And there's never going to be an
explanation.
Part of the goal is the journey. Look, you could make the same arguments. The hobbits could have climbed on the eagles and flown to Mount Doom.
No, but they can't, okay, because the Eagles have their own autonomy, and if they would also be persuaded by the power of the ring, number one. Number two, they wouldn't have wanted to expose themselves because there's plenty of Nazgul flying around over there. They would be shot out of the sky in an instant. It's insane to think that the Eagles... If you're listen here, if you're someone who's sincerely thinking that it's a major plot hole in the Lord of the Rings, if you're listening to this podcast and you're sincerely thinking it's a major plot hole in the Lord of the Rings, the giant eagles can just carry them the whole time, I need you to seriously jiggity check yourself before you riggedy wreck yourself, because that is just the most insane. The source material is so explicit in stating like what the eagles are capable of, that they're thinking autonomous creatures who have their own thoughts and morality, and it's ludicrous. Anyway, what were we talking about?
Gianni, there's some snaps for you.
Thank you. I didn't get a goddamn Lord of the Rings tattoo to not talk on this.
Book is so vague. What do you think is going to be unknown in the 14th book, or do you think this is just another pulled it out of the hat titles?
This has got to be a pulled it out of the hat title. I'm willing to. I mean, there's no way, because like the unknown, like what is an unknown at this point? Like there's not a single thing that we really feel like we know a lot about. The unknown could be anything. This is the unknown. I hope it's not a place. That's the one thing I hope. I don't need a new setting. I don't want the unknown to be like they find a hollow Earth. If that's what it is, I don't know, man.
What if they fly to the moon and it's fake, and then the whole moon landing was faked?
I would be more on board with that, because that would be hilarious. This book tried to be like,
or flat Earth, totally real, Gianni.
See, that would be funny to me. Like I would be. That would be enjoyable if the unknown is oh man,
discovery of flat Earth.
I can't actually. Never mind. No, I can't. The unknown, it has to be a thing or a person in order for me to get on board, because if it's a place, I'm not gonna like it. I just know it. But if it's like a person or something, if the person's going by the end, no, I can't have a new entity either. No, I won't. It has to be a thing. I can't do. If the unknown is another entity, I already have the Ellimist that's like driving me up a wall. Like, I can't have another thing. It's got to be an item.
I will tell you, it is not an entity.
Thank God. But you're not saying that it's not Hollow Earth either, which is really.
What if it's both an item and a place?
Oh no.
What if it's both an item and a place, Gianni?
It's gonna be like a key, right? It's gonna be a key to a place.
I wish I could remember. I wish I could remember. I just don't remember, Gianni.
That's what it fucking is.
Gianni,
I know
it's the key. Okay, so I have a story here that I want to interject with. You know those slides that are like a 90-degree drop, and you just slide down those because you're crazy? Yeah. I went down one of those once. Here's the thing. I didn't know this beforehand because I'd never done this before. you're supposed to cross your legs at the ankles when you go down one of these slides with water, because otherwise the water comes up and gets into your face and you waterboard yourself because you're going so quick down the slide. The water just shoots up into your face. The guy monitoring the people going down the slide did not tell me to cross my ankles, so I didn't know. And as I go down this like 90-degree drop on the slide, I can't breathe. I can't see. I'm clutching my fist to my chest, like across my chest, and I'm trying to breathe. And I get down to the bottom of the slide. I had a front crotch wedgie so bad. I'm sure the people around the bottom of the slide saw my labia. Like, I'm just absolutely certain that that's what happened, because this guy didn't tell me to cross my ankles on the slide. Thanks, dude. And I was like, I'm never doing that ever again. And I have not. So. Hey everybody, welcome to Morphin Buddies. Gianni and I are quietly raising the roof to each other across the screen.
Gotta raise the roof, gotta get the vibes going.
The vibes are high today. They're up to the roof, to the ceiling. We're raising them up. Oh, I can't reach them. Where are they going?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, they're through the roof.
Oh my god. They're in like this like restaurant cafe, which I guess is supposed to be reminiscent of like the Rainforest Cafe.
Which is really funny, because in a previous episode
90s.
we did talk about K.A. Applegate being in a Rainforest Cafe writing plot notes for the Forgotten.
Oh my god, I forgot that we did. Yeah. Well,
you predicted it.
It's so funny. I have Rainforest Cafe on the brain like more often than I would than I think people think. Like, I think about Rainforest Cafe like once a month, which is not a lot, but it's more than most things, right? Mm-hmm. And so yeah, they're in this like Rainforest Cafe basically. And this place has real parrots, though, which I wish my Rainforest Cafe had real animals.
Can I complain about this? Because this is the first thing in the book that made me go, no. because there's no way any restaurant that has good food would allow wild parrots. I know, like, technically they're owned by the people in the restaurant, whatever. There's no way.
Domesticated parrots too.
There's no way.
It's a major health hazard. No.
Yeah, they would shit all over the food. Listen, my mom has a blue and yellow macaw. Okay, those are like the big red ones, but the blue and yellow. That's what my mom has. That bird was fucking loud when it first came into our house, because it came from an abused home. So he would scream in his cage, like literally ear-piercing screams where your ears would be ringing for an hour afterwards because he was upset. He's not like that anymore, not too much anyway. But also, it's a huge hazard for children that come to the restaurant, because these birds can break your fingers. They can break if they bite your finger, they can break the bones in your fingers. My mom's bird, he just gently bit me on like the forearm, like right here. I had a bruise on my arm for 3 weeks after he did that. Like, they will fuck you up. There's no way a restaurant would have these real fucking parrots flying all over everyone and shitting all over their food if it's a well-done restaurant. There's no way.
Let me just get it out now. All right, so the big master plan for the Yerks here, jumping ahead in the novel, the big master plan here is that we're going to take over sharks.
Yeah.
So that we rule the ocean.
Yes.
So they're gonna make sharks more intelligent with some sort of chip, and then they're also going to build them ear canals so that the Yerks can inhabit their brains.
Which is like, how? Okay, how much like morphine do you have to put the sharks down for surgery? How are you going to ensure the sharks are going to survive the surgery? How are you going to create an ear canal where there is no ear canal on a fucking shark? How are you going to make sure it's connected to the brain and they don't get blood clots and die of a blood clot in the brain?
Dude,
Like,
just
you can't do that. You can't.
put all of it aside. Let's say, excuse me, let's say they have unlimited resources, right? Mm-hmm. And let's say they are completely able to do this with the entire shark population in the water. Mm-hmm. Congratulations, humans will just no longer go in the water because what do we need it for?
Yeah,
like you've been here for so long. You know that no human is running any operation on open waters that's going to affect anything in the rest of the population. Especially not if you're sharks. I mean, it's one thing if you're taking over every submarine that's around, and then you're gonna torpedo the, I don't know, you're gonna shoot the nukes from the submarines or whatever you gotta do. Sharks are the last thing that anybody's gonna. I mean, what are you gonna do? Like,
especially
you're gonna force. We'll get the humans now. They'll never be able to go to the beach again. Ooh.
Well, especially because we also know there are andalates out there morphing into animals. That's just asking for infiltration. It's asking for, may I be infiltrated? Please infiltrate me.
Not emphasize enough how much I really
like
the
ending really did slap. The ending ate, the ending cooked, the ending took us all home and gave us an Uber to take safely back to our home.
Yeah,
a gift card.
Right, yeah.
Sure, a gift card and a gift card.
Yeah,
he paid for our Uber. He gave us a gift card and he said, "We'll meet again," and gave us a little forehead kiss because you always kiss the homies goodnight.
Yes. Yes. Although I do it on the lips for the homie.
Oh, okay.
I do the lips
with consent.
With for the homies.
Good night, bro.
Exactly.
Hope you get home safe.
Exactly. Yeah. His name is Joe Bob Finestra?
Stop.
Or Finestre?
Joe Bob. Why?
Joe Bob.
Why you gotta do my guy like that?
That's crazy.
His name does not need to be Joe Bob.
Well, why would they do that? That's like
one of the worst, most stereotypical hick redneck names. No offense if you're a redneck, but like,
dude, it's on par with J.K. Rowling being like, I have one Asian character. What should her name be? I know. Also, on this podcast, I hope it's okay, but on this podcast, I don't like J.K. Rowling.
I don't like her either.
Any chance I have to roast her.
To drag her under the rug and roll her up and say, you know what, you can just stay in the rug.
And here's the thing, if you're defending J.K. Rowling, like, don't. She's got billions of dollars.
Yeah,
she literally does not need you
defending her.
She's
got literally lifetimes worth of money that she will never...
She has so much money.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. If she wanted to, she would never have to talk to a single other human person ever again.
But then she just
could buy all of Elon Musk's alien android robot things and just have them serve her for life. And you know what? She can choose the gender of all of those androids. Leave. Just get out of my Twitter space.
Actually,
but who am I?
Quick sidebar. I have a running joke with my boyfriend where, okay, little bit of insight on me. I love sad boys. I mean, you guys probably already know that because I love Tobias so much. But I do. I love sad boys, and I want to take care of them and make sure that they feel protected and loved and warm because everybody deserves to feel like that. So there will be times where my boyfriend and I, Dave, will be watching a movie together. And like just recently, we were rewatching the first Joker. And we're like about halfway through the movie. And I look at Dave and I'm like, I can fix him. Just out of nowhere. And Dave's like, no, babe, you can't fix him. And I was like, I can fix him.
Oh, I love a good.
I can make it better.
I love a good. I could fix him. A well-timed I
Yeah.
can fix him is always good.
Oh,
the one that I
I could
really,
fix
the one
him.
that I really am onto now is.
Who could you fix?
No, I'll do. My running bit is anytime I see most recent example was I went and saw Saturday Night and Dylan O'Brien popped up without a shirt. And and then I would lean
You
over.
could fix that?
I'll lean over and be like, "Daddy's home." That's my new. That's my latest
That's
bit.
absolutely perfect.
That's my latest bit. Yeah. So
I love that.
so yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Listeners, there you go. Do with that what you will.
There you go.
You can take
Yeah,
Daddy's home.
have fun with those.
I did
You
not
can fix them
invent
and
Daddy's home.
Daddy's home.
No. I shouldn't take credit for it. So someone else in my life did. But just so you know, I
Daddy's home.
popularized it. By the way, did not love. They had like the moment where like one of the dogs get cut.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. I didn't like
Nobody
that.
liked that. Nobody liked that.
She wrote in this little onomatopoeia of like a whelping noise. I was like, hey, hate that. Cut that
Hey,
out
wait
of
a
this
minute.
book.
That's a dog.
Hey, I don't know if you know this about me. I'm sensitive. Don't do that. I like dogs. Don't do that. Now,
Yeah, but like, what if it was a family member of yours? Or
I mean, yeah, there's going to be inherent bias in like any like in Jake's
Sure.
particular situation with his brother Thom. Like, I get the inherent biases that would color a perspective like that. But like Gump, I don't give a fuck about Gump. Okay,
he's 9.
I don't give no shits about no 9-year-olds. I'll tell you that right now.
Wait, who do you hate more? Do you hate Gump or Jake more?
Gump is staying on my shoe. You know, at the end of the day, like I don't really think a whole lot about the stains on my shoe. You know what I mean?
Oh my
I think
God.
I think a lot about Jake being in my face all the time, 24/7. I'll smack that boy.
What's the tagline for the underground there, Gianni?
Oh dear God. It is. There's nothing to fear but the Yerks themselves.
Boo.
All right. Could be anything. It's like the taglines and the titles. It's like, yes, Queen, give us nothing. What does that mean?
Folks, thanks for sticking around this long. If you want to email us and interact with us and tell us all your favorite oatmeal stories, you can email us at morphinbuddies@gmail.com. Gianni, hit him with the spelling.
Yes, that's morphinbuddies at gmail.com.
He just can't. Folks, I don't know what to do.
And
He
I
just
won't.
Can't.
And I won't.
He can't.
And
get it
I
right.
will not. And I won't
Listen.
spell Gmail.
We got to figure out a way to trick him into this, folks. Okay? So you're all on my side. I've decided it for all my little Morphin buddies. Everyone's on my side. One day, we have to beg him to spell the entire email. Because some people,
We all
they just don't,
have
they don't
lines
know.
in the sand somewhere. And this is a funny one for you to put yours at.
You know, I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough, and it gets everywhere.
That's enough. That's enough. We get to the hour 20-minute mark and you lose your mind.
I don't know what to tell you, Gianni. This is where we're at.
This is how we roll.
This is how we roll.
That's how we roll, guys.
Thank you so much for listening to us. We'll see you in the next episode of Morphin Buddies.